All right. So I just wanted to start off with this article because it has an interest. Wow, that's a lot of yappage. Hold on. It has an interesting ass headline, that being PlayStation already has a live service game it desperately wants. Because for those of you who are watching this video and don't know, PlayStation, they not doing too good right now in their eyes when it comes to the console wars. They're not winning the console wars in their eyes, even though there are to me. But what they're doing is to solidify, to make it 100%, to make them, and to make it so that in their minds, they're winning the console wars. Excuse me. To make it so that in their mind, they're winning the console wars, they desperately want a live service game. Now, I don't know why the fuck all these companies, well, actually, I do know why. Fortnite. I find it hard to understand why all these companies are looking around left and right, begging, pleading with the gods of the universe for a live service game when time after time again, we have example after example of them releasing amazing single player games that prioritize fun and it propelling them into the financial sphere above any of the that recovers for all their flops. For example, last year in 2023, we had the same thing with WB. After they dropped Suicide Squad Killer Justice League for some insane reason, after dropping that and after dropping Shitty Versus, they said we want to improve and make sure we have some strong live service titles. Their best-selling game is Hogwarts Legacy. The fuck is going on? Why do you keep pushing for these live service games if the best things you're able to have your studios produce are non-live service games? I'll tell you why. Money. They like money. That's what it is. But let's read the summary of this article because this shit got a lot of words and I'm pretending like I got y'all literacy level, which is on average below 8th grade. So let's read these bullet points. Sony's live service ambition. Sony has announced plans to expand in their live service games, aiming to release over 10 such titles by March 2026. That's a reasonable timeline if the games are already made and all they have to do is actually market them. Following the success of games like Fortnite and Destiny, they don't own Fortnite, but I get what they're trying to say. AstroBot as a potential oh my fucking god, oh my god, tomatoes, my nigga. Oh, the button don't want to work. But boo, tomatoes, nigga. Don't try and turn AstroBot into a live service game. If this is true, I hope this is just an article speculating. But if this is true, please, dear God, Sony, let greatness be great. That's what I'm saying, bro. Sony, whatever y'all do, let Team Asobi make AstroBot 2 and find another studio to do that shit. I hope they don't try and convert studios and make them do things that they're not used to doing, because that's how you get shitty games. The article suggests that AstroBot could serve as Sony's live service game. Oh, hell no. Given its design that celebrates PlayStation's history and potential expansion for new characters and levels. Okay, so let me tell you why that don't work. One of the things that makes AstroBot a 10 out of 10, well, at least Astro's Playroom a 10 out of 10, is that it inventive, it is short, and none of it feels like filler. If you start adding level after level after level after level, that's how you get filler. I'm suspecting whoever wrote this fucking article just doesn't understand how live service games work. Marketing consumer response, and also another thing that companies gotta realize, and that this person gotta realize, is whenever you as a company get a W, you have to step back and let that W be a W. What do I mean by this? Don't force it down their throats. Yes, by all means, push the gas. Make sure that it succeeds. Give it what it needs. But think of it like a plant. If a plant needs a gallon of water and you give it a gallon and a half, that's a little bit more than it needed. But you rather give it a tiny bit more than a tiny bit too little, right? But if your plant only needs a gallon of water and you dump 3 gallons of water on the plant, what happens? The plant starts to suffer. it starts to have adverse health effects, or even let's use people. They always say, oh, there's never a such thing as too much blank. Yes, there is. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. For example, water. If you drink too much water, you can end up dehydrating yourself. I know it sounds backwards, but listen, if you drink too much water, you could get your body to the point to where it stops accepting water and it starts trying to push out more water than it needs to accept because you're putting so much water in it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. It is good to push your game, give your games a push they need, unlike what Concord got. But don't try and hammer it down anybody's throat, because all you're gonna get when you try to hammer it down somebody's throat is just bleh, bleh, a complete throat explosion. Despite Sony's push towards live service games, there's skepticism due to the high now it wants to go off. All right, bro. The article suggests that AstroBot. Oh wait, no, I'm on the wrong part. Despite Sony's push towards live service games, there's skepticism due to the high cost of the upcoming PS5 Pro, lack of significant technical upgrades, and the failure of games like Concord to capture a wide audience. Well, Concord, I'm not gonna stop saying this because like a lot of people are gonna kick Concord while it's down, and I'm gonna uplift Concord as much as I can. Concord did not fail to capture a live audience. Concord was not presented to any audience. Hey, Bernice Jewel, thank you for the W follow. Go ahead and throw up the V one time, and I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell everybody else. If you are here to just enjoy your stay, thank you. But if you're here to offer me art, no, I don't want it. Anyway, like I was saying, damn, what was I saying? Let me reread. Oh, Concord. The reason why Concord failed is because Concord wasn't put in front of any audience, so it couldn't get an audience at all to have a core audience because it had no audience. And that, you know what? It's good that I had this article. Let me bring it up now, because I didn't even think this article was gonna mention Concord, but where is it? Concord, exactly 69 people got a platinum trophy from Concord. The game was out for 2 weeks and only 69 people got a trophy from it. That's how unplayed Concord was. Nobody played Concord. Only 60 something people actually got a platinum trophy from it. Ain't that crazy? For a game that Sony allegedly spent 100 million, which isn't true. Sony just brought the studio. Well, I don't know about the 100 million, the entire 100 million, but Sony just brought the studio. They didn't actually make the game. That's another part a lot of people are misconstruing. But on to read. The diversification of game types. Sony's strategy includes not just focusing on one type of live service game, but exploring various genres, scales, aiming to cater to different audiences. Fair, because like they said, there's different audiences to cater to, different people like different things, which is going to be one of the weird things that we get into later with the bite jump, whatever the fuck the name of that game is. You'll understand it more when we get to it. It has an interesting premise. The live service model faces criticism for potentially oversaturating a market with similar games, which is a fair criticism, because one thing I always say is whenever you're making something, like, all right, so I took a couple courses and classes, not those, hey guys, listen here to my fucking marketing course that some random nigga from 123 land just put together. Like, no, I took an actual like state, not mandated, state approved course in digital marketing. And one of the things that I was taught is if your product can be described as it's like, people are just gonna do that. So the game we would play is if the only way you could describe something because of the similarities of it to another something that's popular are so strong as it's like, then why would they? They would rather. It's hard. It sounds crazy when I say it like that, but when I say the phrase, it makes sense. So for example, people swore to God it was like Overwatch, even though it was more like Destiny. So if Concord is like Overwatch, why would I play Concord when I could play Overwatch. So if Concord is like Overwatch, I would rather just play Overwatch. You see what I'm saying? So you could use anything. So for example, if let's use Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, even though they're different. When Mortal Kombat first came out, people looked at it as a Street Fighter clone. Let's not go too much into the details. They're both fighting games. If Mortal Kombat is like Street Fighter, I would rather play Street Fighter. Using something else. Oh, if H1, it was either DayZ or H1Z1. I don't know. H1Z1. If H1Z1 is like PUBG, I would rather play PUBG. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at? That's the thing. That's the thing that you gotta worry about most when trying to market a product. How does it stand out? And if it doesn't stand out, how do you make it stand out? What mechanic, what thing can you add or do to make it oppose everybody else? Because one thing that always gets lost in translation is when you say that everybody got to do something different, they think they got to come up with the most original idea. It's like, first off, nothing under the sun is original. Nas told you that. Number two, you don't have to be different. You can just do one thing really good that makes me want to play your game over another game. So, for example, Mortal Kombat, one thing they do good, they do better than Street Fighter, let's say, is they appeal to a different audience that likes more horrifying and gritty, more gory type of things in their game and whatnot. That's the one thing they do that's different. When they introduced that idea, it blew everybody's mind. With PUBG and let's say, what you call it? With PUBG and Fortnite, let's say, Fortnite wasn't nothing special. Think when Fortnite first came out, not Fortnite now, where they got 100 different modes, and playing Fortnite is basically like having 30 free games wrapped up and rolled into one. When Fortnite first came out, and it was just a battle royale mode, what made it different from PUBG? The art style was different. You can enjoy the art style in the game, the way the game looks, more than PUBG. Because one criticism that I always had of PUBG is the game is fun, the gameplay loop is fun, the balance and all that was cool, but the game looked fucking ugly. It looks like shit. Even now, to this day, the art style of PUBG looks like shit. There's no distinct art style to PUBG. But Fortnite took and rode the wave of PUBG success, and they put a unique art style. They put a unique packaging in it so that you would want to buy things in the game instead of like, because PUBG, when it first came out, for those of y'all who don't know, it cost like $30-$40, but then the numbers dipped, so they went free to play, and that changed everything, and it saved their game. That's why a lot of game studios right now, if they put out a live service game for a price tag and it fails, they rework the game, make it free to play, and re-release it. PUBG was the first one to do that and succeed. I don't know if they were the first one ever to do that, but they're the first one I remember. And if they weren't the first one to do that, they were the first one to do it and succeed on such a major level. Anyway, that's what I always say that's what people mean when they say do something different. You don't have to come up with this grandiose idea. What makes you unique? Because, for example, I'm black just like a lot of other black people. What makes me different from the next black person? Well, I'm probably funnier. Your shorty probably like me more than that nigga, even if that nigga is you. It is what it is. Nah, let me stop. Somebody might get offended watching this. Point is, you don't have to be you don't have to make the next wheel. You don't have to invent the next wheel. You don't even have to invent the next bread. Maybe all you gotta do is slice the bread. That's a good ass analogy. You don't have to invent bread. Maybe you just have to slice it. That's a great analogy right there. Challenges and criticisms. The live service model faces criticism for potentially oversaturating the market with similar games. Yep, I said that earlier. And Sony's approach might not align perfectly with what gamers want, especially if it deviates from traditional PlayStation game offerings. That is a fact. I agree with that, because a lot of live service games are just fucking FPS games. Well, I was gonna mention more about this, but I kind of brought it up earlier, so I made my point partially useful. This I more so wanted to bring up in passing. Yo, Y'all think a Watch Dogs movie would be fire? Cause allegedly the Watch Dogs movie wrapped up filming. Let's read. Is there an article attached? No. That's why I didn't. Unless it's in the image. No. All right. So let's read. I'm reading this blurb over here. If y'all care to read along, if y'all want to make sure I'm reading it right. Yeah. Tom Blyth or Blith. I can't pronounce his name properly. So sorry if I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. So excuse me if I don't. But Tom Blyth from Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and Talk to Me's Sophia Wilde star in the Watch Dogs movie, which was announced in 2013. Damn, this shit was announced in 2013? Oh, hey, actually, now that I think about it, I just looked. Let me drag it over so y'all can see. This tweet right here says it perfectly. Hopefully it's a good movie. The games had a good concept but fell short. Yeah, the original Watch Dogs 2 protagonist had way more personality than the Watch Dogs 1 protagonist, because the Watch Dogs 1 protagonist, that nigga was like Batman but without all the cool combat abilities. Like imagine playing Arkham Batman but without the combat. In a gameplay type of sense, that was actually pretty fun. But in a story sense, story of that game fucking sucked. I never beat Watch Dogs, but everybody I know who beat Watch Dogs, I ask them what's the story and they go, there's somebody on YouTube who did a 3-minute summary. Go watch that. Like nobody beats the story of Watch Dogs and can tell you the story of Watch Dogs, because the story fucking sucks, nigga. Wait, what the fuck did I click? What did I click? Okay, yeah, let's anyway. But the fucking that threw me off because I didn't expect to see that. Oh, the story of Watch Dogs fucking sucks. Watch Dogs 1, Watch Dogs 2, it was good up until the ending mostly, but the story of Watch Dogs 1, it fucking sucked. I hope they can do something in the movie to add. What the fuck? Are you dead ass, my nigga? In Opera GX, my fucking computer blue screen. That's actually nuts. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually nuts.